Classroom organization. Hello, Teacher Megan here with VIPKid. Hello, teachers. Whether you're a new teacher or an old teacher, this video could be helpful for you. I'm going to disclaimer by saying there is no one way to run your classroom. This is just some things that I have found helpful that I do that makes it easier for me to teach multiple classes back to back. I usually teach between 6 to 8 classes back to back every day. So this is something that has helped me stay organized and to be able to be successful in switching between classes quickly and easily. So everyone knows that VIPKid already gives us the lessons and objectives, and everything's actually on the computers. When I have a class that's booked that is a new class, and yes, this took a lot of time when I first started with VIPKid because every class I taught was a brand new class to me. Now that I've been teaching for over 8 months, it is rare that I have a new class. I pretty much have them all set. What I use is index cards. I love my index cards. My index cards has the lesson name and all the wonderful numbers, what props I need. Now my props used to look like a full list of things. Now I use mostly Google Slides. I love Google Slides. If you're not part of the Facebook Google Slides group yet, look for the link below in the description. Click on that link and ask to join. You have to be a VIPKid teacher in order to get into that group, but it has changed the way I do props completely. I still have my props. I have my Mike and Meg. I have my whiteboard. I have my maps, my US maps and my world maps that I use. And those are really my biggest props besides the Google Slides. So that's what's on the front. On the back, I have my objectives, what my vocabulary is, the grammar, and the sight words. Some of our lessons also have math. I'll put that in there as well. If there's slides, so as I click through the slides, if there's something that I'm like, I don't know if I could do that at 4 in the morning, specifically with the math. I have a hard time with the math super early in the morning. It's hard for me. My brain doesn't want to think about numbers at 4 in the morning. So if there's any math in the lesson, I will go ahead and write out exactly what the problem is and what the answer is. When it's 4 in the morning and I'm trying to work out the math problems, I literally have them written down so I can use my whiteboard and look very smart and educated. Wow, look how teacher's doing this math so early in the morning. Really, it's written down. There's also slides where they want students to spell things, and they don't always give you the words. It'll be like, spell the sight words, but they don't give you what the sight words are. So I always make sure and put the sight words on the cards so I can look back at them. Those note cards are really easy to organize. I actually have 2 of these. I teach several different levels and supplemental like grammar, free talk, and that kind of stuff. So I have several of these, but basically this is what I pull from, and they're different colors so I know what lessons go where, and they're in order from level number and unit number, and it's really easy to organize. Now that I've written all of those over the past 8 months, literally when I go to lesson plan, it takes a whole 10 seconds to pull 8 classes worth of lessons, and I know exactly what I'm doing, and I don't really have to do much prep for remembering what those classes are about because it's all written down for me. After I pull my index cards, you might say, well, how do you keep your index cards organized because you're teaching 8 classes? How does that work? I use freezer bags. Freezer bags are amazing because you can lock your kids out of them, but you can also put the number of the class that you're teaching. Basically, I have 8 bags, and I put my index card in the bag. And if I need any props, like say this is a unit where we are going over parallelogram, that goes in the bag. So I have all of my props in the bag before I do this the night before. So that way in the morning I have 8 bags with my index cards with any other props that I might need besides the Google Slides. How do I use the Google Slides? That's a great question. I use my Google Slides for both extra props and for rewards. How I do this is with my iPad. I actually teach from my laptop. My iPad is all of my props and rewards. How I do this is I use the drive and slides, and as you can see, this lesson was about China, and I have all the different vocabulary with extra pictures and different landmarks that we talk about. Sometimes I change them with pictures of my own family, specifically with the free talk classes. We talk a lot about ourselves and our families and our likes and dislikes, and I can add in pictures that are specific to me and my family, and that makes the class way more personable for the students, and they love it. So Google Slides are amazing. I also use it for rewards. So I use my class slides on the Slides app, and then for my rewards, I copy and paste the link into Chrome, into a Chrome browser. I literally have over 50 something rewards here on my Chrome browser. So that way, no matter if it's boy, girl, young, old, they're into cars, Barbies, Pokemon, Transformers, I have everything right here, along with basketball, soccer. It has really helped me with new students because I can easily say, instead of having to do, you get a sticker or something like that. Again, I teach the older levels, so if I try to give a sticker to a 13-year-old boy, he's like, seriously? But I can ask him like, hey, do you like basketball? And he's like, I love basketball. All right, we'll do a basketball slam dunk reward today. You get to pick a number and watch amazing slam dunks. It makes it a lot more personable to each student, and they feel special that I took the time to ask what they liked before class even began, and I just met the student 30 seconds ago. The parents also really like it. Some of my feedback has been that I'm really techie and I've done so much lesson planning and I'm so prepared for classes. And honestly, I haven't done any of that. The Google Slides makes me look good. It makes me look like I've done a ton of work. So to all of our Google Slide contributors, Megan and Beth, and there's so many of you out there, thank you for making us teachers who are lazy look amazing. Like, we bow down to you. You're amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, now let's talk about how I organize my students. We just received a new student page from VIPKid that allows us to give the student a nickname and to make comments about the student, and it kind of gives us more flexibility to do all of what I do on the computer. Again, I like paper. I keep a binder, and my binder has my notes. On every student, I put how many classes they have been taught at VIPKid, what my class is with them, the date and the time of the class, their rewards. I do not like repeating rewards. Not unless a student really had fun with that reward, then I'll repeat it every so often. But I like giving the students new rewards. It keeps each class really fresh. I always write down what their rewards was, so that way I know not to do that one again, at least for a few months or a while. But this is a great way that I can put together what maybe they had issues with during class, maybe next class, something to bring up. So for instance, I had a student who was talking about how much they love Thomas the Train. And so I made sure and put down there, loves Thomas the Train, bring Thomas the Train next class. And so when I went to prep for their next class, which was a week later, I would not have remembered that. But because I had it written down, I remembered, my son has a Thomas the Train set. I'm going to get that, and that's going to be his rewards this week, is an actual, we're going to pick and make cars for Thomas the Train. So again, parent feedback on those things, it just makes me look super professional and very organized because I'm remembering things from week to week. Even students that I see once a month, they're just like, I can't believe you remember that. I don't remember it. I write it down. One word of warning on writing during your classes. When I write during my classes, I have a standing desk, and so I kind of have to bend over to write. I tell them first, I'm going to write that down so I don't forget. And again, I teach the older levels. I don't know if you can do that with the younger kids or not, but that's what I say to them, so that way they know this is what I'm doing. I'm writing something down. There has been times where teachers are either taking notes or looking down, and the parents think that they're playing on their phones. So please be aware of that. If you can just say, I'm going to make a note. Wait a second. Or I'm going to write that down. Let me write that down. Something so that even if the kid doesn't get it, the parents might understand what you're doing. You're not looking at your phone. You're not dissing them in class. You're just doing your teacher job and writing notes down. So word of warning with that. I've never had any bad feedback about that, but I think it's because I tell them every time I write something down. And if it's something towards the end of class, just wait until the class is over and your camera is off and then write down the notes. But sometimes I take notes during class as well. Another thing that some teachers might not know is when VIPKid numbers how many classes you've had with a student, it's only within the last 6 months. Once you hit your second contract, you might notice that you've taught 30 classes with your students, but it only says you've taught 28. That's because it doesn't count those first 2 classes. Those were outside that 6-month time period. So there's definitely some kids that I've had over 50 classes with that on the VIPKid portal, it only says that I've had 38, but that's because I'm in month 8 of my time here at VIPKid. So that's another reason why I really love writing down that information, is because I know exactly how many classes I've taught with those kids. All right, that's a lot of information, but hopefully that's been helpful for classroom organization. If you have any questions for me, please leave a comment. And as always, if you like my videos, subscribe. Goodbye. Thanks for watching. Come on.